as we welcome you to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. I am Vinny from VW Productions, and we have another NBA2K26 presents another exciting edition of the 2025-2026 NBA season playthrough here. We have an Atlantic Division battle featuring the visiting Toronto Raptors at 12-17 and the Brooklyn Nets at 7-19. The Raptors have played one game already in schedule block number 2 as we look at the lineup. See Emmanuel quickly, Brandon Ingram at the guards for the Raptors, RJ Barrett RJ Barrett and Jakob Poeltl are at the forward position. Actually, didn't get that down because Poeltl's actually at center here. And for the Nets, we have the rookie Igor Demon, Cameron Thomas at the guards, followed by Michael Porter Jr. and Noah Clowney at the forwards, and then Nicholas Claxton at center. As you see, as I failed to mention here, the Nets did win the tip here. You see Cameron Thomas for 3. That is no good. Porter will get the rebound. I believe that's Scotty Barnes. That is the other forward. That is no good. Claxton here. As I said, the Raptors already played one game in schedule block number 2 here. They lost 110-73 to the Los Angeles Lakers. The Nets will play their first game in schedule block number 2. They played one game in schedule block number 1, and they got blasted at home. We see Igor Demon. That is too strong. RJ Barrett with the rebound for the Raptors. Scotty Barnes with the dunk, and the Raptors will get the first points in the game here. They got blasted. As I said, the Nets got blasted by the Sixers in their only watch game so far. And that was at home, 100-65 loss here, as Porter Jr. will get the 3 there. And the Brooklyn Nets are on top. They had 2 brief leads in that loss early in that game, 2-0 and 5-4. Ingram, that is no good. Cameron Thomas will get the rebound. As you see, Ingram had 27 points and 6 rebounds in their last game against the Celtics, so victory. Clowney there with the dunk, and it's a 3-point lead for the Brooklyn Nets here. So the Raptors are 12-17 and currently sitting in that 10th spot in the Eastern Conference, which would be good enough to be in the play-in tournament. The Nets at 7-19 and 14th in the dead last in the Atlantic, but 14th in the East. As you see, that's a miss right there. Cameron Thomas will get the rebound. Porter Jr. back to Igor Demon. Demon will get his first 2 points of the game for the rookie. And we have an early timeout for the Raptors here. 7 straight points by the Nets, 9:38 to play in the first, and we're going to keep it here on this timeout to get my channel out. For those who are new to this channel, I am VW Productions. I do sports video games here. 2 of the biggest games I'm doing so far right now are NBA 2K and College Football 26. You're currently watching my NBA 2K26 project, the 2025-2026 NBA season playthrough, where I play one game for every 2 to 3 calendar days. Oh, actually, it's going to be 4 calendar days because this game is being played on the winter solstice, or the scheduled game will be the winter solstice of 2025. That's December 21st. And the next game I kind of want out will be the Christmas Day game. So I'm going to be going through the post-game ticker for those games. So that'll be 3 days worth of post-game ticker for this video here. And then for my College Football 26 project, I do 3 simulation games. At this time, I think we're on our last Week 13 simulation game. At the time of the recording, I did not know which games I'm doing, so go look on my community tab to see which games will be out on this day for Week 13 of my college. But they're all going to have playoff implications, as the newest rankings recently came out. As I said here, you get the Nets at 7-19. You can see the Raptors at 12-17. Coming out of the timeout here, just not even 2.5 minutes into the game, the Nets on a 7-0 run. And then I also do a 28-team college football playoff, which I just had the most recent projection. You see Brandon Ingram with the dunk, and that ends that 7-0 run. 2 games against the Nets this season, he is averaging 21 points a game and 4 assists per game. See Cameron Thomas, big jump shot. That is good. You see Cameron Thomas averaging 25 points a game in general this season as we are approaching 3 minutes into the first quarter. But I will do a 2018 college football playoff, and I'm going to, I see Grady Dick into the game now. He'll drain a 3. So the Raptors already going into their bench. Clowney with it. Back over to Demon. Over to Demon again. That was Porter Jr. Now it's Thomas that has it. Cameron Thomas inside. 7 on the shot clock. He drains that. And the Nets are on top by 4. The Nets have one more game, actually. I see Grady Dick for 3. That is off the iron. Igor Demon with the rebound. They see Porter Jr. There's a layup there, and it's a 6-point lead for the Nets. That is their largest at this point. The Raptors scored the game's first 2 points. That's their only lead so far here in this early part of the first quarter. RJ Barrett for 3. He drains it. Igor Demon with it. Passing it over to Cameron Thomas. Back to Porter Jr. Porter Jr. to Thomas. Thomas for 3. Off the iron. Claxton will get the offensive rebound. Thomas for 3 again. He drains it. Cameron Thomas having a good game so far to start this first quarter here. The Nets are back on top by 6. Emmanuel quickly to Barrett. Barrett for 3. No good. Clowney will get the rebound. Back over to Michael Porter Jr. Over to Clowney again. Clowney got in that little screen for a second here, but he doesn't get anything. Back to Demon. Demon for an open 3. That is off as Scotty Barnes will grab the rebound for the Raptors here. Over to Ingram. Ingram with the layup, and that's good. It's a 4-point lead for the Nets right now. And there's an alley-oop right there. Igor Demon to Michael Porter Jr. Porter Jr. had 20 points and 7 rebounds in their last game against the Miami Heat. A victory against the Heat. Back over to Barrett. Barrett for 3. No good. Demon will get the rebound there. Nets still up by 6 right now as we're halfway through the first quarter. Igor Demon. That shot is up, and that's too strong as RJ Barrett will get the rebound. Demon, 1 of 4 shooting. 2 points, 2 assists so far. Grady Dick coming through. Dick, he's going to go to the line and count it. Claxton called for the foul there as Grady Dick with a chance for a 3-point play to cut the deficit to 3. He misses it as Claxton will get the rebound for the Nets here. Up by 4. Igor Demon. See Michael Porter Jr. with it. 13 on the shot clock. Back to Porter Jr. Porter Jr. with the slam dunk. Michael Porter Jr. 4-4 shooting. 9 points so far. 5:20 to play in the first. The Nets leading at 20-14. Ingram. Pass it back to Grady Dick. Grady Dick for 3. Clowney with no rebound. Over to Porter Jr. and Porter Jr. He's 5 of 5 so far. He has 11 points. And the Nets are on top by 8, the largest of the game so far. And the native Canadian Barrett, but Ingram will get the 3 there. I think RJ Barrett will get the assists on that one. Igor Demon. He's going to go to the line because you can count that. Emmanuel quickly called for the foul. We got some substitutions here. As Pirtle coming back into the game.
At the line, 1 shot.
Igor Demon with a chance to extend the lead to 8 again. And he'll miss that one. Pirtle does have that injury icon next to him, so who knows how long he'll be out. But you know how 2K likes to put them back in the game. Ingram's going to go to the line. As Porter Jr. called for his first. So we have 4:23 to play in the first quarter. If you're enjoying what you're seeing right now, don't forget to hit the like and comment on this video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. As Ingram will hit the first one. Hit the bell icon as well to receive notifications when these videos do drop. Because as I said, I do NBA 2K as well as I do College Football 26, and coming up in the spring, I'm probably going to be doing something similar to this project where I do MLB The Show, a season playthrough for the 2025 season. Igor Demon back to Thomas. Thomas for 3. He drains it, and the Nets are back on top, or back up by 8, I should say. They've been on top, but they are back up by 8. Matches their largest lead of the game here as we're 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Coming to you from the Barclays Center, Ingram. Jumper, good. Clowney with it. Back over to Thomas. Thomas. He drains that one. Cameron Thomas again. He and Michael Porter Jr. have had some pretty good, had a pretty strong first quarter so far. And the Nets have their largest lead. 9 points so far. Barrett, jump shot, no good. Claxton getting the rebound. Back over to Michael Porter Jr. And Barnes with the steal here. You look at the rebounds, 10-5 in favor of the Nets. Barrett with the layup, and it's good. R.J. Barrett bringing the Raptors to within 7. And we'll have a timeout by the Nets. 30-23 Nets on top, 2:58 to play in the first. We're going to take a timeout. You're watching NBA 2K on V-Dub Productions. And we are back here at the Barclays Center. The Nets are on top by 7 here. We look at Scotty Barnes, who's averaging 14.9 points a season, but his last 5 games have averaged over 16 points a game, nearly 17. As we're under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter with the Nets leading it by 7. As Porter Jr. getting ready to inbound it. Back over to Claxton. Williams into the game now for the first time for the Nets. Thomas still in there. Thomas, that's a 3-point attempt. He drains it, and the Nets are on top by 10. You can see that little injury icon for Jacob Pirtle. I don't get 2K because he's probably going to be out for an extensive amount of time with an injury, significant injury. I see Ingram, he's going to go to the line again as Williams will be called for his first foul. That's the 3rd team foul already for the Nets in this quarter. Ingram at the line for the 2nd time. As Grady Dick is back into the game for the Raptors. As he'll drain the first one for Ingram. And he sinks them both. 8-point lead for the Nets. 2:26 left of the first. Johnson into the game. Johnson was out for a little bit for the Nets. Same with Thomas. Thomas has it. In there. Back over there. Williams for 3. And that is off the iron. And Grady Dick will grab the rebound. As I said, Michael Porter Jr. had 20 points in their last game against the Miami Heat. A victory against the Heat. You see Ingram passing it back over to Pirtle. Pirtle, he misses that one. I think one of them Nets had a piece of that ball for a second here. Johnson for three. That's good. Johnson with his first points of the game, and the Brooklyn Nets are on top by 11. Mogbo has it for the Raptors. Ingram for three. That is off the iron, and Claxton getting the rebound. Johnson, who had a three-pointer on the other way around, passing it over to Thomas. Porter Jr. to Thomas, and it's a 13-point lead. The Nets are last in assists with 12.4 in the season playthrough. They have 11 tonight already. So they're well on their way to probably shattering that average here. There's a big jumper there. Brandon Ingram with 15 points on 5 of 8 shooting. Had a very solid first quarter so far for the Raptors, even though they're trailing by 11. Cameron Thomas. Pass it over to Claxton. Claxton with a layup, and the Nets are back on top by 13 here. The Nets are shooting 74% to the Raptors 50. Under 30 seconds to play in the first. Brandon Ingram loses it. Williams has it for the Nets on that steal. There's Cameron Thomas here. Cameron Thomas. Thomas loses it as Grady Dick has it as we're into the final seconds here. Quickly coming through. Quickly. That layup is good. 0.2 to play in the first, and that will do it. We're at the end of the first quarter. The Brooklyn Nets leading the Raptors 40-29. We are going to take a break. We'll be back to start the second quarter. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. Get ready to start the second quarter in Brooklyn. You see Mogbo inbounding it to Sheed. Walter into the lineup now for the Raptors. Grady Dick still in the game. As you see, he loses that one as Williams with the steal. Williams for the Nets has it with his team up by. Terrence Mann back into the lineup too. He was out for a while. I say Mann for three. He drains it. Terrence Mann, as I said, both teams has a full complement of players for the first time this season, I believe. Sheed back over to Grady Dick. Back over to Mogbo to Walter. Walter has it under 10 to shoot on the shot clock. Back over to Dick to Mama Kalashi, or I can't pronounce his name. But Sheed will miss that one. Wilson will get the rebound. Terrence Mann, who had a three-pointer the other way the last trip down. Nets up by 14. I believe that's their largest of the game. Oh, and missed alley-oop attempt, but Williams will save it, but Grady Dick will grab it for the Raptors on that failed saved attempt. Back over to Mama Kalashi, or can't pronounce his name. I'm sorry, I tried to pronounce his name a little bit, but still kind of hard. As Drew Timmy into the game. I don't believe I saw Timmy the last time in that watch game. You see Williams for three. Sheed will grab the rebound. There's the Walker. Back over to Muma. You see Jacoby Walter had 8 points and 8 assists. 8 points in the win against the Celtics in their last game. Wilson will get the rebound here. You see Mason has it for the Nets. Or Mann has it for the Nets. Back over to Mann. 12 on the shot clock. Mann for three. That is off the iron. Grady Dick with the rebound for the Raptors. Yes. The Sheed. Or Shed. So that Shed, that's how his name is pronounced, okay. Timeout for the Nets, though. 9:13 to play in the second quarter. The Nets lead at 43-33. We'll take a break. You're watching NBA 2K on V-Dub Productions. We're back here in Brooklyn. The Nets leading at 43-33 with 9:13 to play in the second quarter. We have a lot of substitutions in this game. We're going to get some more substitutions coming in. We're probably going to get some of the starters coming back into the game now. I know for the Nets, we saw Clowney inbounding it over to Porter Jr. Williams, I know, is still in the game from this timeout. Back over to Williams. Williams for three. That is too strong. Magbo with the rebound. Barrett. Back over to Brandon Ingram. Ingram with the layup. That is good. And the Raptors within 8. Igor Demin, one of the top candidates for Rookie of the Year already, and we're only about a month or so into the season. Igor Demin, and that is out of bounds. That's going to go to the Raptors. Small forwards in the last 30 days. Brandon Ingram is number 4 in the league. Ingram with it, crossing the half-court line here. Ingram passing in. That's a careless turnover for the Raptors there, as the Nets will get it after that out of bounds. Igor Demin has it. Back over to Porter Jr. for three. Too strong. Barrett with the rebound for the Raptors. 8:19 to play in the second quarter. Barrett. That is good, and the Raptors within 6. Clowney with it, back over to Demin here. The Nets up by 6, led by as many as 14. Terrence Mann still in the game. It's for a while where he and Porter Jr. were out. As you see, Demin, that shot is too strong. Ingram with the rebound. Ingram coming through. Back over to Shed. Magbo with it. Back over to R.J. Barrett, 7 on the shot clock. Barnes with it. Got to get that shot up. He will get that layup, and it's good. It's only a 4-point game now. It's a 10-0 run for the Raptors in the last 3+ minutes in this game. Over to Porter Jr. to stop the bleeding. He does! Michael Porter Jr. for 3. And the Raptors increase their lead to 7 again. Barrett. There's Barnes for 3. That is in and out. Clowney will grab the rebound. Demin has it. Porter Jr. That is off the iron. Magbo with the rebound. As Shed has it. Back over to Barnes to Ingram. Ingram for 3. No good. Clowney grabbing the rebound. You see Demin has it. Back over to Williams. Williams to Porter Jr. Back over to Demin. Demin for 3. That's off the iron. Ingram will grab the rebound. Shed with it. Passing it over to Ingram. Ingram. 10 on the shot clock. Ingram. There's the bucket there. 46-41. Over halfway through the second quarter now. 5-point lead for the Nets. See Clowney with it. Over to Michael Porter Jr. Porter Jr. for 3. He drains it. See Shed has it, and timeout for the Raptors here. 5:38 to play in the second quarter. We're going to take a timeout as well. You're watching NBA 2K on V-Dub Productions. Back here in Brooklyn, the Nets leading at 49-41 with under 6 minutes to play until halftime here. We got substitutions by both teams. Jacob Poeltl back into the game. You can see that injury icon there. I kind of wonder what his injury is when we look at the injury report. R.J. Barrett over to Ingram. Barrett has it. Coming around. There's a pass to Scotty Barnes for 3. That is off the iron. Claxton getting the rebound for the Nets. The rebound, 17-14 in favor of the Nets here. Porter Jr., there's the bucket there, and the Nets are back on top by 10. As I said, 14 was their largest lead. And the Raptors were able to cut it to within 4. So we got 6 on the shot clock here. Scotty Barnes got to get the shot up. He does, and it's good. The Raptors shooting 55% in this game to the Nets 60%. Clowney. Back over to Demon. Back to Demon. Thomas for 3. That is off the iron. Barnes will grab the rebound for the Raptors here. RJ Barrett with the assist there. I believe that might have been actually Ingram there that got the dunk there. It's a 6-point game again. I said Ingram averaging 21 points a game. Demon with the slam dunk. You see Pirtle will take the inbound there. We see Ingram with it. Ingram coming around with the layup. That is good. Brandon Ingram, 23 points. He has 8 of those here in the second quarter. Keeping the Raptors, trying to keep the Raptors in this game. See Porter Jr. Back over to Devin to Clowney. Clowney passing to Porter Jr. Over to Thomas here. 3 to shoot. Porter Jr. for 3. That is too strong. Barnes will get the rebound. See Barnes coming around. That is good. Scotty Barnes bringing the Raptors to within 4. This is the closest they have been actually in this quarter. Porter Jr. back to Demon. 3 minutes to play until halftime here. Clowney with it. Porter Jr. coming around. Passing it back over there. There's Demon for 3. That is off the iron. Ingram will grab the rebound. As I said, the only lead for the Raptors was 2-0. It's been all net since then. 2.5 to play here. Barrett. Oh, Barrett. You almost had that for a second. 4 on the shot clock. RJ Barrett with the layup. That is good. And then Raptors within 2. Raptors on a 10-2 run in over the last 2.5 minutes. But there's an easy pass, and that's to Claxton. He's going to easily put the Nets, increase the Nets lead back up to 4. 2 minutes to play until halftime, and another Raptors timeout. 55-51, Nets on top. We're going to take a timeout as well. You're watching NBA 2K on Vida Productions. All right, back here in Brooklyn here, we look at the league leaders' points in the last 10 games. You see Cameron Thomas, second in the league with 29.8 points behind Anthony Edwards, who's actually on the injured list right now for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Pirtle, as you can see that little injury icon there. As I said, NBA 2K has some funny things when it comes to injuries in this game. They like to override those. That's loose, and that's stolen by Claxton. Thomas has it for the Nets here. Under minute 45 to play in the second quarter. 15 on the shot clock. Back over to Clowney, to Thomas. 10 on the shot clock. Thomas coming through. That is no good. RJ Barrett will get the rebound for the Raptors. 55-51. Raptors got it to within 2 earlier, but a bucket by Claxton before the timeout. It's back up to 4. You see RJ Barrett with the bucket. It's a 2-point game. He has 13 points on 6 of 9 shooting. Look at that, 69. Thomas for 3. That is off. Barnes with a chance for Ingram to try to tie this game up. You see Cameron Thomas with 18 points in this game. Emmanuel quickly has it. As you see Ingram coming through with it. 7 on the shot clock. Over 40 seconds. Ingram for 3. That is off the iron, and Porter Jr. will get the rebound there for the Nets. 15 on the shot clock. Clowney for three. That is no good. Ingram with the rebound. And then there's a bucket, and we are tied at 15 with 55, I should say, with 15.4 to play. Ingram, 25 points in this first half. Thomas with the slam dunk. And the Nets are back on top by 2. There you go, 4 to shoot. Or 4 to play here. Ingram misses that one, and we are going to halftime here. Nets led by as many as 14, but the Raptors came back to tie, but the Nets, with the late bucket, they lead by 2, 57-55. We are heading to the halftime report. You're watching NBA 2K on Vida Productions. As we're set to start the third quarter here in Brooklyn, if you're enjoying this content, don't forget to hit that like, comment on this video, and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. As we look at Brandon Ingram highlights, he had 25 points in the game. The Nets are being led by Cameron Thomas with 20 points. I see Pirtle once again will inbound it to Emmanuel quickly. And there Ingram has it. He's going to get the slam dunk. He has 27 points, and we are tied at 57 again. As I said, the Raptors have not led since 2-0. Over to Clowney. Back over to Cameron Thomas. Over to Demon. Demon for three. That is off the iron. Pirtle will grab the rebound here. RJ Barrett has it. Chance for the Raptors to take their first lead since 2-0. Ingram for three. That's good! Brandon Ingram with 30 points in this game. He scored the first 5 points, and the Raptors are on top by 3. That is their largest lead. And they have overcome a 14-point deficit in that first half. I see Thomas. Cameron Thomas misses that one. Pirtle will grab the rebound here. Back over to Barnes. Barnes coming through with the layup. That is off the iron. Clowney will get the rebound there. Back over to Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. back over to Thomas. Thomas for three. That is off the iron. Quickly will grab the rebound here. A minute and a half into the third quarter. At loss as Claxton will get the rebound. For three. Porter Jr. no. Claxton will get the rebound and the put in. And the Nets will get their first points of the game. Or the half, I should say. Jacob Pirtle, again, I'm going to say, going to be interesting how long he's out for. He's going to miss time. There's the bucket there. And the Raptors are back on top by 3. Porter Jr. for three. That is off as Pirtle will get the rebound. Brandon Ingram having a game right now at 30 points. RJ Barrett. That is off the iron. Clowney with no good here. 2.5 into the third quarter. 62-59 Raptors on top. Porter Jr. back over to Clowney. Clowney for three. And we are tied at 62. Quickly controlling it for the Raptors right now, and he will step out of bounds. You got to be more aware of that, Emmanuel Quickly. I wonder what the heck they are what that's playing in the background, because that's happened a couple times when they stepped out of bounds. Porter Jr. with it for a chance to give the Nets the lead again, and he does. Michael Porter Jr., 21 points, 12 of those in the paint. And the Brooklyn Nets are back on top. Quickly for three. He puts the Raptors back on top. That's 33 for him in this game. Devin coming through. Igor Devin, one of the rookies here. That's 8 points for him. He only had 6 in the first half, but one of the top rookies in scoring so far. Ingram for three. That is off the iron. Porter Jr. with the rebound here with the Nets back on top by 1. Trying to go up by more. They led by as many as 14. Thomas coming through. Layup. Cameron Thomas has 22 in this game, and the Nets are on top by 3. Brandon Ingram. See Brandon Ingram coming through. He's gonna count it. Cameron Thomas called for the foul on Ingram. No, he's at 32 points. I thought he was at 33. Now he's at 32. Now he has a chance to make it 33 points and tie this game up again. And he'll do exactly that. As we have a timeout by the Nets here. 7:43 to play. We are all tied at 68. We're going to take a timeout. You're watching NBA 2K on VW Productions. And we are back here in Toronto. We look at the small forward rebounds per game for the small forwards. You see RJ Barrett 5th in the league in the last 30 days. I like how they like to just go by... come up with these stats by positions here. As you see Demon grabbing the inbound here. He has 8 points in this game. Cameron Thomas for three. Too strong. Pearl will grab the rebound. Emmanuel Quickly has it for the Raptors. Quickly with it. He's coming around. That's a bucket. I believe that is now 35 for him in this game. He now is accounted for half of the Raptors team points. They're up 70-68. Igor Demon will tie the game up. He's in double figures now. So we're 5 minutes into the third quarter here, all knotted at 70. Back over to RJ Barrett. Barrett back over to Scotty Barnes. Barnes to Ingram. Ingram for three. That is off the... Oh no, wait a minute. Ingram is the one that's at like 33 points, I think. It's kind of really confusing here as you got a lot of these players. But Michael Porter Jr. does put the Nets back on top by 3 with a three-pointer. I believe that's his second of the game, and got a little bit of a back and forth game. Emmanuel Quickly 4-3. That is off the iron. Michael Porter Jr. will grab the rebound. Over to Demon. Igor Demon. Coming through with the layup. That is good. 6 points in the first half. He has 6 already here in the third. Jacob Poeltl, as you can see there, he has that injury. You see RJ Barrett jumper, and that will stop the bleeding for a second. Poeltl will get the assist there. See Igor Demon. That's a nice assist with a slam dunk by Michael Porter Jr. And the Nets are back up top by 5. Timeout for the Raptors. 5:40 to play in the third. We'll take a one as well. You're watching NBA 2K on VW Productions. We are back here in Brooklyn. The Nets on a 9-4 run, and they are back on top by 5. I said they led by as many as They led by as many as 14 in that first half. The Raptors had their largest lead at 3 in this third quarter. Grady Dick back into the game for the Nets, or for the Raptors, I should say. Scotty Barnes with 10 on the shot clock, being guarded by Mann. I think that's Terrence Mann. There's a screen there. Barnes will get the shot up. That is off the iron. Michael Porter Jr. grabbing the rebound for the Nets. Cameron Thomas with it. Over to Clowney. That was Clowney that was guarding Grady Dick for a second. RJ Barrett with it. Back over to Emmanuel Quickly. Quickly passing it back over to RJ Barrett. Barrett coming around. And that is good. It's 7-74. Demon has it. He has 12 points in this game. 6 of them have come here in the third quarter itself. Clowney back over to Porter Jr. Porter Jr. That is a three-pointer there. I wasn't sure if that was a 3 or not, but that's 3. And the Brooklyn Nets are back on top by 6. Pearl back over to Grady Dick. Dick coming with he misses that one. Thomas with the rebound. Back over to Demon. Demon. 12 on the shot clock. Passing it over to Michael Porter Jr. The Demon. 5 on the shot clock. Jumper for Igor Demon. That is off the iron. Porter will get the rebound. Grady Dick coming through. Dick with a jumper, it's good. Raptors within 4. 3.5 to play in the third quarter. 80-76, the Raptors on top. Over to Michael Porter Jr. That's a jumper. That is off the iron. Dick will grab the rebound. Grady Dick. Over to Quickly. Quickly misses that one. Claxton will grab the rebound. Thomas with it. Coming through. Thomas. He misses that layup and Quickly will grab the rebound here. 3 minutes to play in the third. Quickly with the layup attempt. That is no good. Porter Jr. will grab it for the Nets. Clowney coming through. He thought about the shot. He'll lose that one. RJ Barrett with the steal. Over to Grady Dick. Grady Dick to Emmanuel Quickly. Quickly for 3. He drains it. It's only a 1-point game. Igor Demon has it crossing the timeline now. He has it again. Still on the 3-point line. 14 on the shot clock for the Nets. Cameron Thomas. 2:20 to play. Cameron Thomas. Layup. Good. 3-point lead here as Cameron Thomas has 24 points in this game. RJ Barrett. And you see Jacob Pearl back over to Barrett. Barrett's coming with a slam dunk, and that is good. It's a 1-point lead for the Nets here as Demon will call timeout for the Nets here. We're going to take one as well. 1:51 to play in the third. 82-81 Nets. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we are back here in Brooklyn. It's a 1-point game. 1:51 to play in the third. 82-81 Nets on top. It's been a little bit of a back and forth game. As I said, the Nets led by as many as 14 in the first half. The Raptors led by as many as 3 here in this third quarter. Porter Jr. Over to Johnson back into the game now. Back over to Wilson. Mogbo, I think, is back in the game. As you see, Terrence Mann. That is off the iron. Ingram will have the rebound. Back over to Shed. Mogbo back over to Ingram. Ingram for the lead. That is off the iron. Williams will get the rebound for the Nets. Michael Porter Jr. back over to Johnson. Johnson back to Michael Porter Jr. over to Mann. To Porter Jr. Porter Jr. with the slam dunk. Three-point lead. Grady Dick in the lineup for the Raptors here. Grady Dick, jump shot, that is no good. Williams over to Johnson. to Wilson. Wilson will get the bucket. It's a 5-point lead again for the Nets. Shed with it for the Raptors. Back over to Ingram. Brandon Ingram hesitated to shoot. Mogbo. That is no good. Porter Jr. grabbing the rebound for the Raptors. Williams for three. That is off the iron. Shot clock turned off. Ingram now has it. 2. He'll get the shot up before the end of the quarter, and he'll miss it. It is the end of the third quarter. The Raptors had the lead for a while, but the Nets are pulling away. Nets pulled back into this game. They lead by 5. We are going to take a break. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. Getting ready to start the fourth quarter. If you are enjoying this content, don't forget to hit that like and don't forget to subscribe as well. As you see, Terrence Mann with it. Shed, Walter, Mogbo, Dick, and Ingram in the lineup to start the fourth quarter for the Raptors here. Both teams looking to get their first win in a watch game. Williams for 3, and he puts the net. He extends the Nets' lead to 8 points. They're led by as many as 14. Shed back over to Mogbo. Grady Dick. Layup, and that is too strong. Williams will get the rebound for the Nets. Can Porter Jr. put the Nets back on top? Wilson, he does! Porter Jr. will get the assist there, but Williams puts the Nets back on top. Mogbo and Shed will get the assist there. Johnson back over the Porter Jr. here. So it's Mogbo is how his name is pronounced. Back over to Williams. To Porter Jr. here. 8 on the shot clock. To Porter Jr. 5 on the shot clock. Williams for 3. Too strong. Mogbo will get the rebound. Grady Dick. So we're a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Shed for 3. Porter Jr. will get the rebound. It's an 8-point lead for the Nets here. 10:20 to play here in the fourth. Wilson almost stepped out of bounds for a second for the Nets, but he was able to control it. Williams has it. Williams for 3. Mogbo getting the rebound here as Shed will have it for Ingram. Ingram back over to Shed. Shed to Grady Dick. Back over to Ingram. 10 on the shot clock. Ingram. Bucket is good. It's a 6-point lead here. Brandon Ingram now has 35 points in this game. It was Ingram that has over 30 points. I keep getting it confused when the game goes back and forth. Porter Jr. 9 on the shot clock. Back over to Terrence Mann. There's a 3-point attempt. That is off the iron, and Ingram will grab the rebound. Walter has it for the Raptors here. Trying to get them back into the game here. Shed for 3. That's in. That is good. It's a 3-point game again. 9 minutes here left in the fourth. 91-88. Brooklyn on top. To Porter Jr. Porter Jr. back to Williams. Williams for 3. That is off, and Grady Dick will get the rebound. Brandon Ingram. There's a 3. That is no good. Williams with the rebound. See Johnson with it. Back over to Michael Porter Jr. Porter Jr. misses that. Mogbo will get the rebound. Walter has it for the Nets, or for the Raptors. What am I talking about? Shed with it. Pass it back over to Walter, over to Grady Dick, back over to Mogbo. On the shot clock, Ingram for 3. That is good, and we are tied at 91. It's a 10-0 run for the Raptors. They are not going away in this game. Porter Jr. will put the Nets back on top by 2. Kind of curious to see how many points he has in this game. See Brandon Ingram passing over to Mogbo. Mogbo with a jumper. That is no good. Or turnaround shot, I should say, no good. Williams has it for the Nets here, leading it by 2 here as we're approaching 7 minutes to play. Wilson, layup. That's good. Both teams shooting at 53% now. Both teams, I think that's shooting fairly well in this game. But it's a 4-point advantage, but Ingram with the slam dunk cuts it to within 2. That's 37 points for him. See Johnson. Back over to Porter Jr., over to Wilson. Back over to Porter Jr. Terrence Mann with it. Mann with a deep 2. That is no good. Ingram will grab the rebound. You see Brandon Ingram still holding on to it. 37 points in this game, but 6 on the shot clock. He gets that shot up. That is off the iron. Porter Jr. will get the rebound here. Under 6 to play. 95-93. Brooklyn Nets on top. Johnson with it. Back over to Michael Porter Jr. for 3. No good. Walter with it. Brandon Ingram with a chance to either tie or take the lead for the Raptors. He'll lose it as Williams will come with the theft. Porter Jr. pass it over to Wilson. Wilson for 3. That is off the iron. Grady Dick will get the rebound. Walter. Pass it over to Ingram. Ingram. We are tied again at 95. Oh, Ingram now has 42 points in this game. I'm probably going to have to stop assuming how many points each player has in this game until I actually see it. But either way, Brandon Ingram. Johnson for 3. That is off the iron. Ingram with the rebound. Shed has it for the Raptors. He'll lose it, though, as Johnson will get the steal. Williams with it. Tie game. Terrence Mann. That shot is up. That is good. Nets are back on top. Points off of turnovers. Nets have 9 and the Raptors have 7. In the midst of all this, I want to remind everybody when this game is over with, we are not done yet. As you see, we're tied again. We still have the stats, post-game ticker, injury report. It's going to be a very extended extended post-game ticker as I'm going through 3 days. One of those days we will have no games on. Williams for 3. That is off the iron. Ingram with the rebound. We're still tied at 97. And the next game coming up will be the Christmas Day game, and that will feature the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. Ingram puts the Raptors back on top by 2. First time they have led in this fourth quarter. They led by no more than 3 in this game. Porter Jr. with the dunk, and we are tied at 99. So the next game coming up will be the Christmas Day game featuring the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets, and that is coming to you from the Mile High City. I believe that might be the first time Ball Arena will be shown in this watched game. Porter Jr. grabs the rebound off the Grady Dick miss. Wilson for the Nets here. Wilson. That is off the iron. Ingram with the rebound. As we are 2:36 left to play. A regulation at least. Remind you, we have had no games in overtime yet, no watch games in overtime yet. As that shot is missed, Wilson will grab the rebound here. Man, coming through with it. Johnson has it for the Brooklyn Nets. 2-10, man for three. He drains it, and the Nets are on top by 3. Shed has it for the Raptors. They will call a timeout, and we're going to take a timeout as well. 2:02 to play in the fourth. 102-99, Nets on top. You're watching NBA 2K on VW Productions. All right, we are back here in Brooklyn. 102-99, Nets on top on a Terrence Mann 3 to break the stalemate. 2:02 to play in the fourth. It's still anybody's game here. As I said, we have not had a watch game go into overtime yet as Pirtle back into the game here. You see that little injury icon. Who knows how long he's going to be out. As I said, 2K likes to override these injuries. Ingram, deep 2. It's only a 1-point game. As I said, don't forget, at the end, we still have stats and extended post-game ticker. As Thomas is coming around, that is no good. Ingram will grab the rebound. Emmanuel quickly. Back over to Barnes. Barnes with a layup, and the Raptors are back on top by 1 with 1:32 to play. Drama-filled game, and it's really good when both teams are in the century mark. And we have the Nets back on top by 1 here. 11 lead changes, 9 ties. See Ingram coming through, bucket, and shot is up. That's in. Brandon Ingram puts the Raptors on top, but look at Claxton getting that big pass there. He gets a slam dunk, and the Nets are back on top with 1:09 to play in the fourth. Ingram. Ingram holding on to it, under a minute to play here in the fourth. And Barrett's going to go to the line as Michael Porter Jr. called for his second personal foul. 2 huge free throws coming up for the Raptors. RJ Barrett, a native Canadian, playing for the Canadian team, the Raptors. And Barrett will make the first one. We are tied at 106. And he misses a second one, so we're still tied. Cameron Thomas coming through. Thomas puts it up. He puts the Nets back on top by 2. Cameron Thomas with 28 points. 46.8 to play here. Ingram has it for the Raptors here. Pass it over to Barnes. Scotty Barnes. Count it! Nick Clowney will get called for the foul. Oh no, that's not a foul. That's a goaltending. No, that's still a foul. But I guess they called it goaltending. So it will still count. Noah Clowney is called for the foul there. As Barnes hits the free throw. Raptors back on top. Timeout, Nets. 38.6 to play. We're going to take a timeout. You're watching NBA 2K on VW Productions. And we are back here in the fourth quarter. 38.6 to play. The Raptors on top by 1. They are in the bonus right now. As you see, Noah Clowney getting ready to find an inbound here. Finding it over to Claxton, had it again, but he had a lot of players here. Back over to Clowney. Clowney to Thomas. Thomas, back over to Clowney. Back over to Claxton here. 10 on the shot clock. Thomas back to Clowney, or Claxton, I should say. And Claxton with the slam dunk and timeout Raptors. We're going to take another one as well. 22.1 to play, 1 point lead. You're watching NBA 2K on VW Productions. We are back here in Brooklyn. 22.1 seconds to play here. You saw Nicholas Claxton with the slam dunk, putting the Brooklyn Nets back on top by 1 as the Raptors use their final timeout of the game. You see Ingram having himself a heck of a game here. Ingram passing it back over to Quickly. Quickly back over to Pirtle. Pirtle to Barnes. Barnes for three. That is off the iron, and Claxton's going to have to go to the line. Or is he going to? Yeah, timeout Nets. 7.3 to play. They're up by 1. We're going to take a timeout as well. You're watching NBA 2K on VW Productions. Back here in Brooklyn, 110 to 109 with 7.3 seconds to play. I don't think that the Nets are going to the line just yet, so they're going to have to foul quickly again for the Raptors. Claxton looking to see who he thinks will be the better shooter, and Demon's going to go to the line. 6.5 to play here. 2 huge free throws coming up for Igor Demon, the rookie. Unofficially, he has 12 points in this game. I'm just going to say unofficially because sometimes when the stats pop up, they either have more or less. No, both teams out of timeouts here, and that's the first one. So it's not all doom and gloom, by the way, for the Raptors. Because it's still a one-possession game. A 3 can tie the game and possibly send this game into overtime. And he sinks them both. Pirtle over to Emmanuel Quickly. Quickly back over to Barrett. Barrett for 3. That's off the iron, and the Nets are going to pull away with the victory in this thrilling game. They walk away with a 112 to 109 win. The Nets will improve to 8-19 on the season. The Raptors fall to 12-18. Oh, what a game. Thrill of victory for the Brooklyn Nets and the agony of defeat for the Toronto Raptors. But we are not done yet. As you see, the player of the game is Michael Porter Jr. To look at the statistics, starting off with the victorious Brooklyn Nets here. Michael Porter Jr., 39 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. We got Cameron Thomas, 28 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal. Igor Demon, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists. Nicholas Claxton, the starting center, 10 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists, a steal, and a block. Terrence Mann only had 8 points, 2 rebounds. Jalen Wilson, 6 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Noah Clowney, 5 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Zaire Williams, 3 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 steals as well. Keon Johnson, 3 points, 3 assists, and a steal. Then we had Drew Timme that was in the game, but he had no points. Derek Whitehead, EJ Little, Tyson Etienne. I wonder if he's related to Trevor and Travis. Drake Powell, Danny Wolf. They did not play for the Nets in this game. And now for the Raptors, in a very close loss, you had Brandon Ingram, 50 points in this game. That is the third 50-point performance in a watched game. I believe that's the second in like 3 or 4 games. But either way, 50 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists for Brandon Ingram. RJ Barrett, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. Barrett missed that tying shot at the end. Scotty Barnes, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Emmanuel Quickly, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Grady Dick, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Jamal Shed, 5 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Jonathan Mogbo, 2 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Then you got Sandro Mama Kalalashvili. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. I do apologize for that, but he had 2 points, 1 rebound. Jacob Pirtle, only 7 rebounds and 2 assists. He got hurt in this game, as you could tell with that injury icon. So it's going to be very interesting to see how long he's going to be out for. Jacoby Walter only had 1 rebound, 1 assist. Ochai Agbaji, Colin Murray-Boyles, Jamison Battle, AJ Lawson, Garrett Temple did not play for the Raptors. And those are your player statistics for this game. Time for the post-game ticker brought to you by 2K Sports. We start off in Hotlanta where the Hawks 134-116 winners over the Chicago Bulls. In a classic game that we just watched, the Nets defeat the Raptors 112-109. The Knicks 129-105 winners over the Miami Heat. The Bucks go into Minneapolis and upset the Timberwolves 101-100. The Spurs over the Wizards 143-105. And the Sacramento Kings can light the beam. They win 124-111 over the Houston Rockets. For the games played on Monday, December 22nd. We start off with the Cavaliers 144-109 winners over the Charlotte Hornets. The Pacers go into Boston to win 133-101 over the Celtics. The Pelicans 126-104 winners over the Dallas Mavericks. The Denver Nuggets, who we're going to be watching in the next game, 130-118 winners over the Utah Jazz. The Grizzlies upset the Thunder 116-104 in Oklahoma City. The Magic going to Chase Center upset the Golden State Warriors 123-115. The Magic are back to being above 500 again. The Pistons are now within a game of 500 with a 99-96 win over the Portland Trail Blazers. The Pistons, though, are good in real life. Have the games on Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025. That's Festivus Day. Festivus for the rest of us, if you get the reference. The Hornets, 119-116 winners over the Washington Wizards. The Philadelphia 76ers obliterate the Nets, 125-97 in this game. The Hawks, 131-129 winners over the Chicago Bulls in overtime. The Cavaliers, 140-114 winners over the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pacers, 101-94 winners over the Milwaukee Bucks. The Heat over the Raptors, 121-104. The Nuggets, 112-100 winners over the Dallas Mavericks. The Timberwolves, 124-117 winner over the New York Knicks. And the Thunder, 120-113 winner over the San Antonio Spurs. The Lakers, 133-117 winners over the Phoenix Suns. The Jazz still continuing with having the worst record in the league by far. They fall to the Grizzlies 148-136. The Magic 111-90 winners over the Portland Trail Blazers. The Kings light the beam again. They win 113-108 over the Detroit Pistons. And lastly, the Clippers get to win number 20 on the season, 137-95 winners over Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets. And there are no games played on Wednesday, December 24th on Christmas Eve. And that will be it for your post-game ticker, an extended one. If your team won, congratulations. If not, there's always tomorrow. Report heading into the Christmas Day games after the Christmas Eve games. We start off with the Philadelphia 76ers. They're without Andre Drummond for 4 to 6 weeks. The Bucks are fully healthy. Same with the Bulls. The Cavaliers, Jared Allen still out 4 to 6 months. For the Celtics, Jason Tatum out 2 to 4 months. Jaylen Brown still out 2 to 4 weeks. John Collins still out for the Clippers 1 to 2 months. Grizzlies are fully healthy, so are the Hawks. The Heat are without Terry Rozier, as Tyler Hero, I assume, is back in the lineup for the Heat. LaMelo Ball still out 4 to 6 weeks for the Hornets. Jazz fully healthy. They just completely suck in this universe. Kings are fully healthy. Actually, I kind of want to get tabs on the Kings situation because I know there was a video where Sabonis was out for a while, but then somehow one of the days did not save, so I had to re-simulate that, or I had to go back and force win these players, or force win these games for the teams that won on that particular day, and that's why the Kings have no injuries. The Knicks, Jalen Brunson out 2 to 4 weeks. Yabusele out 2 to 4 weeks. McBride, though, recovering. He's day-to-day. Dalton Knecht out 6 to 8 weeks for the Lakers. For the Magic, Jalen Suggs still out 4 to 6 weeks. Anthony Davis out 2 to 4 weeks. Dante Exum 1 to 2 weeks. And what was it? Klay Thompson now day-to-day recovering. He should be back in the lineup. We know that Kyrie Irving is back in the lineup. Nets are fully healthy. Nuggets are without Peyton Watson for 2 to 4 weeks. Pacers, of course, we know Halliburton out for the season. Pelicans are fully healthy. Jaden Ivey now out only 2 to 4 months. Jacob Poeltl, as I said, he was injured in that game. Strained left hip out 4 to 6 weeks. Rockets are without Van Fleet, of course, for the season. Alperen Sengun back on the injured list. He's day-to-day. Devin Vassell out 2 to 4 weeks with De'Aaron Fox day-to-day with his injury. Suns are fully healthy. Hartenstein for the Thunder out 4 to 6 weeks. Let me see. Timberwolves. We got Dante DiVincenzo who's recovering, but then they're still without Julius Randle 2 to 4 months, as well as Anthony Edwards out 1 to 2 weeks. Kamara back out for the Portland Trailblazers. He's out 1 to 2 weeks. Of course, we knew about Lillard's season-ending injury. Steph Curry now day-to-day. He's still hurt with that strained right Achilles injury. And lastly, the Wizards still without Cam Whitmore for 4 to 6 weeks. And that is your injury report. Before we sign off, I want to remind everybody our next game, it's going to be the Christmas Day game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. The Wolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder tied for the best record in the league at 25-5. It's been a really good season for the Wolves so far, though they are a little bit so-so right now in real life. But then you have the Denver Nuggets at 17-12. So this should be a really fun matchup. I'm hoping it's just as fun as the matchup that we just watched today. So this game, as I said, will be on Christmas Day on the calendar. That is an actual scheduled day, by the way, to let you guys know. We are done with all the weird stuff with the NBA Cup stuff, how that schedule turned out when I axed the NBA Cup. Yeah, we're back to like the actual regular scheduled games now. So thank you guys for watching this. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like, comment, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to receive notifications when videos do come out. And of course, also don't forget to watch my college football 26 content. I think that when this comes out, it will be the third and final simulation game for week 13. Do look on my community tab for the actual days and the games that week 13 are out. So I appreciate that. And that will do it here. And I'm reminding you the final score of the game. The Brooklyn Nets win a thriller 112-109 over the Toronto Raptors. I am Vinny from VDub Productions, and I am signing off.